Well, I think it's fair to say that the jig is up. The goose is cooked for the Vancouver Canucks. A 6-2, 6-3, I guess Sutter scored at the end. 6-3 loss at the hands of the Ottawa Senators here on a matinee game on Wednesday, April 28th. Man, this team's done. And we'll talk a lot more later on past the recap, so stay tuned for that. But we got Thatcher Demko coming back after that short lower body injury scare. So Holtby's back on the bench. He'll likely start tomorrow. Högberg remains the guy for Ottawa with Matt Murray injured. Basically the third string goalie for the Sens. Tyler Mott slotting into the top six. No Cole Lind. We'll talk more about that at the end. I made a video this morning on why the Canucks should have Cole Lind in the lineup to fill that top six spot. And there's no way he doesn't play tomorrow, in my opinion. So Sens get there first about 2 minutes in. Victor Mete goes in. Myers with a dumb pinch. Mete sort of just walks in between Myers and Ulevi. Fires it past Demko on the first shot of the game. 1-0 Ottawa. Canucks got a power play with 10.5 minutes. Sort of an ugly hit from Shane Pinto. Just ugly power play. Power play one doing nothing. And then late in the first period, penalty from Howerluck, a dumb penalty. Guy gets killed off. So super boring period. 1-0. Shots were 10-9 for Ottawa, but the actual scoring chances were 11-2 for Ottawa. So just ugly first period. We go to the second and things don't get better. 38 seconds in, the Canucks are hemmed in their own zone already. The Ottawa Senators just forcing them to chase the puck around. A point shot by Thomas Chabot. Rebound comes out for Chris Tierney. He just beats Alex Edler in a battle. 2-0 Ottawa. But Canucks answered. Nope, they didn't answer. 32 seconds later, JT Miller, a bad backhand pass right up the middle of his own zone. This is something we've seen Miller do before, just sort of in his own zone, making the easy, weak play and just clearing it up the middle. Gets picked off. Tkachuk is able to win a battle down low in the corner, hits Josh Norris on the back door. He's got a wide open net, 3-0 for Ottawa. Travis Green just ripping into his bench, and albeit rightly, because being gassed is one thing late in the third period, but on your first shift coming back after the second period or after the first intermission, that's a different story entirely. The Canucks do get on the board though. 6 minutes in, a Tyler Myers random wrist shot from the point just squeaks through. It's 3-1, but then a minute later, Thomas Chabot scores for the Sens, and it's 4-1. And then a minute after that, Marcus Högberg behind his own net just gives the puck up to Tyler Mott. Tyler Mott just steals it from him. He passes it out front. Jake Virtanen, shotgun Jake scores. It's just mayhem. It's 4-2 at this point. And of course, we hit the shotgun, run the clip. Look, I don't know what the heck's going on in this game, but shotgun Jake. Yeah, go follow my Twitter if you aren't already. They saw it first, and a minute after that, or no, that was the minute after that one. So the game started to sort of pick up after this. There was less structure, or more structure, less scrambly. But with 4 minutes to go in the second period, Canucks setting up in the Sens zone for a good while. The Sens have a weird change. Someone changed like way behind the play. Bad change for Ottawa here because the Canucks are in the Ottawa zone and one of their guys just left and changed. But then Brady Tkachuk comes on the ice. Ottawa gets the puck and they just send it down for Tkachuk, who's on a breakaway, and he just squeaks it through the arm of Thatcher Demko, and it's 5-2. So we go to the third. Third period, I was starting to get pretty apathetic on this game. Not even going to mention the penalties that happened. There was a bit of a scrap between Nick Paul and Travis Hamonic. So off of this fight, Nick Paul took his helmet off to start the fight. Now that is illegal. Now you can't do that. It's a 2-minute penalty. So Canucks go to a 2-minute power play. Seconds into this power play, puck gets cleared down the ice. Thatcher Demko goes out to play it, passes it to Quinn Hughes, who ignores it, and then the Sens are in on a 2-on-0. They pass it across, and Thatcher Demko just does the splits and absolutely robs them. But he's not done, because 20 seconds later, Formanton has a shorthanded breakaway on Demko. He tries to go 5-hole. Demko stops him. 1 minute after that, 2-on-1, Connor Brown makes a nice little move. His shot is also stopped by Demko. So that's 3. Count them. 1, 2, 3 odd man rushes for the Sens on this penalty kill. Just ugly power play for the Canucks here. So the Canucks try to pull a sneaky one through. Down 3 goals. They pull the goalie with 7 minutes to go. Why not? You're 10 points out of a playoff spot. Might as well give her a go. They did put Demko back in after an icing because the jig was up. But then they pulled him again with 5.5 minutes to go, and Colin White rips it from his own zone. It's 6-2 for Ottawa. With 3:15 left, the Sens on another 2-on-1 because the odd man rushes do not stop, folks. And Thatcher Demko just vibing, just showing off. Goes over, slides to his left, does the full around the world with the pads, a little whoop whoop, gets the leg on the puck. Beautiful save. Just the vibe of Thatcher Demko to be getting shelled. You're down 6-2, but to still show off like that, I love it. Love that from Demko. Just robbing Chris Tierney. And then Brandon Sutter gets a random goal with 2 minutes left. Just sort of walks in down the right side. Random wrist shot, far post. Hogeberg's kind of out of position. 6-3. Game is over. And the Canucks playoff chances are they're falling big. But on our pluses for this game, the first plus is the draft. The draft lottery odds are on the rise, folks. We're going up. Maybe Ottawa catches the Canucks, and the Canucks get a really good draft pick. Who knows? Our second, the biggest plus of the game. It's Canucks game day. That means $2 Big Macs on the McDonald's app. So we're going to be crushing a Big Mac. In about 25 minutes, I will have a Big Mac in my hands. I guarantee it. And the third one, I liked Halford and Bruff on the intermission segment. That was good. Halford just sort of leaning against the desk, the energy that all of us were feeling that game, and Jason Bruff staring intently at the monitor. That would be like if I had notes down here. I just spent the entire video talking like this, just looking at Murph's face, and not at the camera like I'm supposed to do. On the minus sides, a lot more of them. The first one, no Cole Lind. And I talked about this in my video this morning on all the reasons that the Canucks should have Cole Lind in the lineup. One of them being he's rested. The other one being the Canucks are trying to fill a hole in the top 6. We've seen Highmore try. We've seen VC try. We've seen McEwen try. We saw... who was it today? Tyler Mott tried to fit into the top 6. It's not working. The players in the bottom 6 aren't good enough to do this. So put in a guy who actually might have some offensive potential in Cole Lind. At least give it a shot. See what you have in the guy. If you missed that video, it's probably recommended or on my channel somewhere if I forget to link it here. The second minus, just sloppy game. Everything was slop. It was slop city. It was just ugly all around for the Canucks. The third one, I guess, is the apathy that's going to start setting in for fans here, because it's the classic death march that the Canucks have seen for the past few years, again, barring last year. But basically, there's 2.5, 3 weeks left in the season, and how many people are going to care, really? And I saw Lego make a video, Lego Rocks 99. He made a video that he was going to stop making videos after Canucks losses. So if you're watching me because of the hole that fills, welcome. And I get it, because you can see it in my videos. When the Canucks beat the Leafs last week, I had 1,500 views on that video. When the Canucks lost to the Sens on Monday, there was about 350 views on that video, right? Just the difference is staggering, and YouTube sees that and it says, oh, only 300 views on this video. These people don't care anymore, so it's going to stop recommending them. So I totally see where he's coming from on that, and that's a worrying thing. The apathy that's going to set in for fans. They're going to stop, might stop watching the games, might stop listening to Sportsnet 650 or all their favorite podcasts or Canucks After Dark and things like that. And can you blame them? Like, I didn't care about this game very much. Once it hit the third period, I was like, okay, well, I'll take my notes, but like nothing interesting is going to happen here, and we know it. Like, this team doesn't have it in them right now. After the COVID break, they're clearly gassed. They don't have it in them to keep themselves in games. Yes, they had those 2 excellent games against the Leafs, but how much of that was just running off of adrenaline? So at this point, if you're apathetic, I don't blame you, but I hope you stick around anyways. The next minus is they're against a better team tomorrow. They're going up against the Leafs tomorrow on a back-to-back with no rest. There's no way that they play much better, folks. I'm sorry to say. And the fifth minus, Thatcher Demko got hung out to dry. He didn't look great. Let's be real. He did allow 5 goals, but he's probably not 100%, right? He came off COVID, then he got injured. I don't blame Thatcher Demko here. If he stands on his head, I still don't see the Canucks winning this game. He just got left alone on an island back there. So many odd man rushes. This game could have really gotten more out of hand. And while we're here, I'm just going to quickly pull up Natural Stat Trick. I want to see what the expected goals was in all situations. It only says 3 expected goals for the Sens, so I guess that's not super high, but he did have to make some really, really big saves. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for me on this one. I don't have much else to talk about. I'll have a video again tomorrow after the Canucks and Leafs game, and maybe a video in the morning as well if anything interesting comes up, if we get any news. But other than that, I'm going to go to McDonald's. I'm going to get a Big Mac. I hope you find something lovely to eat for dinner. I'll talk to you tomorrow.